Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Rory with Roll in the Jungle, and today we're talking about Browns, Bengals, Thursday night football. Let's go. But first, the new intro. Boom. So, the Bengals are starting off week 2 against the Browns. And let's just say both these teams lost week 1, but they lost in two different ways. The Bengals lost a heartbreaker in the last second thanks to Fat Randy. And the Browns totally got smoked by the Ravens. Now, I think both these teams are going to try and bounce back from the week 1 performances, but I really hope the Bengals learn from their miscues and their mistakes and come out with a W. Of course, I'm a Bengals fan, so of course I want them to fix their mistakes. I hope Joey Burrow brings his primetime prowess to the Bengals because God knows we need it. The Bengals have been atrocious on primetime football since, man, before Andy Dalton. The Bengals have just not performed to the level of the fan base would like them to, pretty much. I think Joe Burrow adds that it factor that, can do this game can be won even in primetime attitude. And I think he's going to prove it on Thursday night. So in this video, we're going to talk about things that I think need to happen in order for the Bengals to get a W on Thursday night. This is Joe Burrow's first primetime game in the NFL, and I really hope he's ready for it because, the Cleveland defense has some pretty big hitters on the defensive line. Myles Garrett, he's a stud. So I think the biggest factor for this game is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals run game. I think that the run game needs to get their crap together because it was not pretty against the Chargers, which, the Chargers do have a really, really good defensive line. Also, Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram are monsters, and Linval Joseph stuffed the gaps pretty well too. He played pretty well, but the Bengals need to have a good game from their running department, and that means better play from Bobby Hart. The turnstile that is Bobby Hart. And Joe Mixon needs to, I guess, get concentrated because he looked like he was out of sorts in the game 1. Like he kind of, if you just watched his attitude, it looked like he just didn't want to play for some reason. It looked like he was out of it. Maybe he had a lot on his mind, but I don't know. It just didn't seem like he was focused to me. Because there were like spots where he could have cut it upfield, but like tried to bounce it outside whenever it didn't need to, or he could have got extra yards if he would have cut it in. Maybe he was just reading stuff wrong. I don't know. And of course, that fumble that gave the possession back to the Chargers, which thank goodness the defense held them. But the run game needs to get its shit together on Thursday night in order for the Bengals to have a good game. Joey Burrow, this is his second game, and he needs that run game to support him. And Joe Mixon, I think he has to have 100 to 120 yards for us to win this game. And that means the offensive line has to play better. By the way, Jonah Williams played pretty good. He played really good. Didn't allow, I believe he didn't allow a single sack. I think he had allowed a few pressures, but he didn't play last year, so that's gonna happen. But the offensive line needs to block better, and Joe Mixon needs to come in and be that young bull that we know he is, and we paid him to be. So Thursday night, I think the run game is a huge, huge, huge component to us winning. I think another aspect to the Bengals offense that needs a little bit of work is the pass game. Joey Burrow needs to be more on the same page with his wide receivers. AJ caught a few balls, but definitely missed AJ on a crucial touchdown, which he admitted. He just missed him. And that comes with chemistry. They're trying to figure each other out. John Ross needs to clear his mind because him alligator arms in the end zone is just not going to do it. The Cleveland defense has some pretty good DBs. Denzel Ward's a monster. Greedy Williams is pretty good. And Grant Delpit, I think, has the ability to be an all pro in the league whenever it's all said and done. So, the Bengals receiving and passing game needs to be on the same page for us to, compete on Thursday night. I think that they will clean a lot of stuff up, but, they got some good players back there. Another crucial aspect for a Bengals win is to pressure Baker Mayfield. I mean, whenever the man has a hand in his face or pressure around him, he just folds and just tosses interceptions like it's cool. The Bengals front four need to get to Baker Mayfield and cause that pressure so he makes his mistakes in order for the defense to feast on those big miscues from Baker Mayfield because we know that he's capable of them. I think Baker Mayfield is most dangerous whenever he has a clean pocket and can just deliver the ball. I think an optimal Baker Mayfield is what Drew Brees is. He's, not very mobile, but, timing routes and pinpoint accuracy. Baker Mayfield, Jesus. Baker Mayfield thinks that he can be a Russell Wilson or I wouldn't say Lamar Jackson, but he thinks he can be mobile like Carson Wentz, and he just doesn't have the ability. Hence being tackled by an overweight cop in Fayetteville, Arkansas. How? How did the football player get caught by an overweight cop? Go watch the video. It's insane. But like I said, the front four from the Bengals need to put pressure on Baker Mayfield, and the cover guys can cover, but that front four needs to be in Baker's face. Staying on the defensive side of the ball, the Bengals DBs really showed what they're capable of on week 1 against the Chargers. William Jackson III played like the player we drafted him to be. He was outstanding. He shut down Keenan Allen like it was the cold side of the bed, like it was cool, man. He held an all-pro wide receiver to, I think, 3 catches for like 37 yards, which is amazing. Jesse Bates, man, talk about clutch safety play. Man, I think PFF had him as the number 1 wide receiver, number 1 safety in the league, which is, man, that's great. That's awesome. He better be getting a contract next year. For real. Let's see. Mackenzie Alexander. You know what the best thing I heard was on Sunday? I didn't hear Mackenzie Alexander's name. I really loved it whenever we picked him up from the Vikings. And he proved that I think that he's also a guy that, deserves some money next year. I hope the Bengals give it to him. But, I think we're going to have to figure out a lot of the money situation that's going to happen, but I would love to keep him because he played lights out even though having a short camp because his dad went missing. The Bengals DBs need to play like they did in week 1 and week 2 against Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, and the Cleveland wide receiving corps. The biggest aspect for a Bengals win is to not shoot themselves in the foot. The Bengals should have beat the holy hell out of Chargers on week 1. If it hadn't been for Joe Mixon's fumble, Joe Burrow's ill-timed interception with that shovel pass to Gio, and, just giving up the stupid penalties like the interference from Jesse Bates, and then AJ's supposed OPI call, and then Fat Randy's muffing of the kick. The Bengals should have won the game in week 1 against the Chargers, but it was ultimately the Bengals that beat the Bengals, and they bungled all over the place. Let's face it. They were the better team that day, and I think that they're going to be the better team in week 2, even though the odds makers have us losing, I think, -6 or something like that. So the biggest thing the Bengals can do to win the game is to just not shoot themselves in the foot. Let the Browns be the Browns and the Bengals be the better Bengals of the future. That's what needs to happen. And under Joe Burrow's leadership, because I don't think he's going to make the same mistakes he did in week one over again. I think he's going to be safer with the football. He's going to get that chemistry with his wide receivers. And the Bengals are going to better block the run game. That's what I hope happens. That's what I believe happens. But we shall see in 2 days. The Bengals have a good shot of beating Cleveland in Cleveland, and then, when they come to Cincinnati, I think that we might have fans in the stands, so, that's good too. But that does it for my Thursday Night Football preview for Bengals versus Browns. Hope you enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, please consider hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already, and smashing that notification bell. It really helps with me building this channel up to where I want it to be, the prominence that I want it to be. And you know what they say, Who Day, it's a new day. Welcome to the Roar. Peace.